Hey everybody, back here today. Today I'm building a kind of garden terrace, outdoor garden, kind of something you'd like stick at the back of like an apartment if you had a green thumb and everything. Something you'd stick at the back of an apartment and kind of put your plants on, kind of like a patio for a second floor, I guess you could say, because I definitely built this for like second floor use. It's not like an outdoor patio for like first floor. It's something you'd kind of put like second or third floor or something, for like if you have a sim with like a green thumb or just enjoy the outdoors, things like that. And I decided to use like fence wise that really kind of high fence because one, I'm not super impressed with a lot of the fences in Sims 4, and also because I thought it offered a little bit of privacy, because I guess in my mind this was kind of envisioned for like an apartment sized house, and you just happened to get luck of the lot and you got a second floor that had a massive patio area out back, and this is kind of what you decided to do with it. Kind of, I guess, the introvert sim that doesn't necessarily like to do parties and likes to take care of flowers and help things grow, things like that. So that was kind of the inspiration and everything. And I definitely wanted to include the like potting pot things, square things, and like you can always take out the flowers and everything that I put in there, and grow your own stuff, because I just didn't want to take the time to kind of, well, I could have like spent through time and grown stuff, but that's a lot of effort and I'm good. So anyway, I was doing these sunflowers because I'm like, these are pretty, they're a lot of color, and I was putting them in there kind of willy-nilly, like a lot of times I do with like flowers and rocks and things. Then I realized, wanna know something? Sunflowers, they all grow in one direction. They only grow facing the sun. And how do I know that? Because I'm from Kansas, and what do we have a lot of here? Sunflowers. So I realized, because a lot of times when you place like flowers and things in the Sims 4 or like kind of any simulation building game, you want to kind of make it mismatch and like kind of add different levels and things like that and layers. But sunflowers you can't, because, well, if you want them to appear how they naturally appear, you have them all in rows and they're all facing towards where the sun is at. Now granted, I didn't make these face where the sun was at, but I made them all face one direction. So it's kind of what we went here for. And then over in this box, I wanted to make it kind of a succulent cactus kind of one. And I didn't really realize this before because I don't really use cacti or anything, but Sims 4 does not have a lot of small cacti. They're all kind of large, and they don't have a lot really at all. There's only like 3 or 4 different ones, and none of them are really super small. And so like, I guess they have about 4 or 5, but a lot of them are kind of that, they have like 2 of the kind of bigger ones, and I'm like, I'm good. So I was kind of trying to make it a little bit more, I wanted to add like detail layers, but there's not a lot you can really do when you don't have a lot of options. So I kind of went through and was really kind of trying to figure out and everything. And this is one of those builds that would help if I had like the garden pack or outdoor romantic garden, I think is what it is. Probably would have helped if I had that pack, but I don't. So I only have a lot of the bigger packs. I don't have a lot of the stuff packs. No, scratch that. I don't have any of the stuff packs. So I only have like get together and get to work. There's one other one that I have, and of course the original base game. So I want to get more, but work in progress. So, but in the end, I wound up putting those like kind of purple flowers, lilac-y flowers in the back, just to add a little bit more color and depth and things. And then I really wanted to put a tree, and for some reason I thought that there was like a smaller tree, and I found those alien flowers, and I was like, oh, that'd be fun. But I was like, we're trying to be human here. So I was trying to put a tree in, and I wound up going with that one because it's one of the smallest ones, if not the smallest one you can get from like the regular tree, because I didn't want to just put a bush with like flowers on it. I wanted to like, you're growing a tree or like a bonsai tree or something. And then I later found like this other bonsai tree, but the bottom, the bottom didn't quite fit with the rest of the pots, and so I was like, I don't think I can use you, so I wound up not using it. So, but then pretty much I was just kind of going through and trying to find other small plants and things that would kind of work in a garden, kind of make it mismatch, and like kind of like over the years you've gradually accumulated all these different plants and given them homes and taken care of them, and so stuff like that. So there's not like a really lots of unity with pot plants. It's a lot of mismatch and things like that, kind of like your own mini greenhouse of unorganizedness. So But it all ends up working out. But, oh, and I really like that one, that pot that hangs on the wall, that one right there. I decided I wanted to put that one because I was kind of on the fence about putting, like, a whole bunch of plants on the walls. But then I decided I wanted to make it look more cluttered and more like there's suddenly this, like, there's a ton of flowers just kind of back in someone's yard. If you were to look up, you'd just see, like, flowers and green stuff and everything. So... And then I wound up using these shelves. I was kind of I had a little bit of difficulty deciding which shelf I wanted to use, and I ended up doing those green ones. And at first I wasn't too sure if I wanted to go with green, and then I decided, well, I guess we'll go with green because I felt like there might have been too much green with all the flowers and plants and everything. But the kind of color scale was like white and green, so I didn't want to go too far from that, I guess you could say. Oh, and I never quite explained it, but I included a door and everything in the build because that's kind of where I wanted to place the door, and that's kind of like if you were living in an apartment and you had this on your patio, that's where you obviously enter and exit. So I did decide to leave the door in instead of like just, oops, sorry, that was a bowl. Instead of cluttering it up and just putting a whole bunch of stuff all along the wall, I decided to kind of I don't know, organize a little bit better. But yeah, in here I was just kind of doing my thing where I kind of look through and find all the ones that I like and then put them on the wall where I want them. And so, like, I found, like, that I changed some of the colors and everything, and then I was like, okay, now which ones do I want, which ones do I want where? I don't know, it just works out organizing for me a little bit than kind of just doing one at a time, and then ending up not liking where I put it and moving it, because I change my mind a lot. You don't necessarily see it because I don't move stuff around, but, like, when I'm building, I'm like, okay, what goes with this? Where should I put this? Do I like this up here? And things like that. I don't really like to, I guess, put things up and then change my idea a lot, unless it doesn't work. Then I'm like, okay, forget this, we're trying something new. And I really do like those flowers in the watering cans, that's the word. In the watering cans, I really like those. And for a long time, I didn't realize there was two of them. And I was like, oh, I found the the thinner nozzled watering can, the one on the bottom. I found that one today, and I was like, oh, that works perfectly. It looks all cluttered and lived in, and so. But then after that, though, after I kind of got all the plants kind of where I wanted them to be, I was kind of trying to decide what else I wanted to really put with stuff. And so I was like, oh, there's a ton of gnomes in The Sims 4, because I forget about them because I never use them in anything. And so I ended up moving the tree, though, right there because it was kind of obnoxious to work around. So I'm like, okay, I'm going to put you back later. And yeah, but anyway, so I decided to use, I think, a couple of the gnomes anyway, and just make it look more kind of cluttered. Oh, and that was the other great thing. The kind of greenhouse, I forget what it's, Skylight thing. That's what it's called. The Skylight. That is like genius and perfect here. And I know it's not necessarily super practical if you were living in an apartment, but I really liked the effect of the shadows and everything that it brought, and it just added another like upper level and upper layer to it. And I kind of wanted to have it. I was trying to figure out where to put it, either against the wall or against the edge of the fence, and I wound up going with the edge of the wall because, like, if you were like growing trees, you'd want more space and not have to have them run into stuff like that. And I felt like there were more plants along the wall anyway, so I should probably put it back there. So that's where it ended up going. And then it got in my way like a tree, and so I moved it. And then I decided I really like those lights from Dine Out, and so I decided to put that back there. And then I was trying to figure out, I sat for a while trying to figure out exactly what to put in that center space, because I'd kind of outlined it with plants and everything, and I was like, what are you going to do in the middle? It's kind of open. And so I wound up putting the seating, because I felt like that worked really well. And there wasn't really any seating or chairs anywhere else, and I was like, this works perfectly. And with this build, I also really tried to put more emphasis on lighting because it is an outdoor room. So it was just kind of a little bit, put more emphasis on it and trying to make things look good at night. Because a lot of times I'll just light it up and like how it lights up during the day, and I'll totally forget about it at night and everything. And so, but this time I remembered because it was outdoors. But I really kind of had a lot of trouble because I wanted to use wall lights on the wall, but I didn't really. I ended up going with those because I like them, and they kind of look like you could put a plant in them, like those glass not aquariums, what you know what they're called, those glass things that have like a ton of little flowers and cacti and everything. It kind of looks like those. So I don't know, use your imagination, and there are plants in there. So anyway. Oh, and I'm pretty sure for these screenshots, which are coming up, I did take off the grid, but oh my goodness, I had to go back and take screenshots 4 times because I forgot to add floor, and I did add floor, and I did add wall, and then I forgot to add the tree back in, and then I forgot all these other things, but I did remember, and it took several times, too many times, to go back and get screenshots, and I forgot to take off the grid, but I remembered to take the grid off. So yeah, so I hope you have a great day, a little more organized than I am. Okay, bye.